Welcome to my channel where I offer free intuitive readings with channeled messages for the collective. For those of you who are not familiar with intuitive oracle and tarot readings, please be aware I do not always read messages as defined by traditional tarot. Sometimes the process pulls forth channeled messages that can come through randomly. When listening to my readings or any readings on YouTube, you must practice personal discernment and know which messages are for you and which ones are not. Remember, this is a general reading, but if you're looking for a personalized reading, you can book one with me at affordable rates. Look for the details in the description box below. For today's reading, we are going to ask Tarot and Oracle, what is blocking you from your soulmate and how can you unblock it? Also, let's see if we can get some details on what your soulmate might be like. And soulmate can also be interchangeable with twin flame. So for today's reading, pick the pile that calls to you the most. I have here some common cards in tarot that can point to a soulmate connection. You can simply place your fingers over the screen and pick which pile you feel the most drawn to, or you can pick them through the crystals, or you can pick them through the card or by the number. So we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Part of getting the most out of your pick-a-card reading on YouTube is really connecting to the energy of the reading and tuning into your own intuitive powers as a receiver of messages. So if you need to pause the video right now while you pick your pile, please go ahead. But let's get started with pile 1. So pile 1, we have this 4 of Wands card. When I think of 4 of Wands, I think of the number 1111, and it kind of reminds me of a twin flame relationship. It talks about celebration, safety, and the home, and I think that sometimes it can refer to finding your sacred half. The crystal we have here, just a crystal tip. I feel like this is sort of pointing the way, maybe saying, in general that we need some clearing energies to happen, or a raise of our vibration of some kind. Okay, so let's start with this card and see if we can find some energies about you and your partner. Okay, so first let's pick a card out of this. It's a mythology deck where it has stories about some of the famous mythological characters in history, and I love this deck because I noticed that the context of every mythological character really adds a lot of energy to the reading that I wouldn't otherwise get through some other cards. For anybody that's interested in Jungian psychology or archetypes, this can really give me a deep understanding of what your partner might be like. So we're going to ask Spirit what the partner of pile number 1 might be like. Okay. And we have, this card looks a little bit scary off the bat because it's a skull that has, blue hair. Kind of reminds me of that character from the Zeus movies, Hades, but this is Abraham, and notice that it says Justice of Pandemonium. So your other half is very justice-oriented, truth-oriented, high conscientiousness, duty above all else, responsibility to others. Something about this character in mythology is that he's always assessing what works and what does not work. He assesses worth and he assesses value, and then he decides what is working for him and what is not, what needs to be discarded. I've had a few people in my life where, oh, let's do this here for some reason. I've had a few people in my life where this card has come up for them, and I have recognized that for these people, they, you know, the law of karma, the law of cause and effect seems to weigh very heavy in their mind. They recognize that every action has a reaction, and they feel that is their obligation to be truthful. I mean, that doesn't mean that anybody, you know, is not, that these people are also not weak to a relative perspective. You know, everybody has their own personalized and relative perspective. And, you know, they aren't, you know, the exception to the rule. But overall, you know, they do tend to, when it gets down to it, they do play fair. Let's see if we can find your energy and why it is that you might be attracting this kind of person. Okay, also from the mythological deck. Ooh. Danu, mother of creation, motherhood, ferocity, and creation. This is a neat card. Danu reminds me quite a bit of the Empress from Major Arcana. She's somebody who loves to nurture creativity in people. She loves to make sure everybody feels safe and secure and they're thriving under her care. But if you mess with her children or her people, she becomes a very ferocious creature. I love that card. I feel like what is bringing you guys together is this polar opposite energy that we have here. We have Danu, who has a very tribal perspective. She takes care of hers and her own. We have Abraham here, who has a very collective perspective, a very broad perspective. And sometimes these two energies can be very difficult to merge, but also so necessary that sometimes we have to recognize that both tribal and collective energies have a purpose in our world, that we, people who are responsible for others, the care of others, whether they're children or disabled or elderly or whatever it is, that we have an obligation to nurture and protect our people. Whereas this person is more of like a energy to protect all. But sometimes when everyone is within your care, it creates a very objective perspective. But it could kind of cause some people to feel unprotected. But also the balancing act here is that this places this Danu, mother of creation energy, in a position to broaden her perspective when it comes to why she is fighting. So this is a very neat play of energies that are happening right here. Let's see if we can find some additional energies about the partner. And I feel like I do need to say that in these readings, I'm getting a feeling that some of you, this might be switched, where you may be the Abraham energy and your twin flame may be the Danu energy. Okay, so let's see what higher powers that these archetypes are working with. So if these archetypes are our earthly identity, let's see if we can find on these other sides here what our heavenly identities will be. What is it that these identities are leading us to? Okay. Interesting. Okay. So for this person, wow. Okay, this might actually be switched. Or it goes together. Because look here, it's saying, Abraham, we were just talking about how he has a collective perspective, and what he lends to Danu over here is seeing beyond the current situation, seeing beyond somebody else's point of view who is not inside of your tribe, which causes us to see beyond the conflict so that we can find better resolution to problems. And I feel that this energy goes with Abraham right here, and this is what this person is to learn. And then we have this energy here, winter, take care of your needs, with the wolf symbol. I feel like the thing about being a collective mindset person is that these people kind of I don't want to say transcend. They separate themselves from their own needs a lot of times, and it becomes simply about what is fair. And I think sometimes in that process they disconnect themselves from their individual needs. And I think that this is why, this Danu energy is so important in the collective, because Danu is the reason for tribal energy is to its root nurture individual energy, although it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the tribal energy supports the collective energy, but at its core, the tribal energy is supposed to help with individual alignment or integration. And I feel that Danu is showing this Abraham energy to take care of his or her needs. So this is the story of this soul pair. So I want to get what are the energies that are happening right now, and then let's get some advice as to what may be blocking you from meeting this person. Or if you've already met this person, what might be blocking you from linking up. Okay, so we have a few cards that are showing up here. Okay, those are some really big energies. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have Saturn Truth. Okay, so this card has been coming up a lot lately, and I think it's because there's some sort of, oh my gosh, I have a need to switch these around. The reason why this one is coming up a lot lately is I'm seeing collectively that between the lunar eclipse, Saturn just turned retrograde, and Mercury retrograde, I'm noticing that a lot of these yods in individual birth charts are being activated on the collective. And the yod energy is, if you can see this card right here, these are two harmonious points of the triangle, both connected to an inharmonious point. In astrology, when two harmonious points, they easily communicate with one another, and they kind of tend to come off as karmic gifts that we've earned in the past. And so they're gifts that come very naturally to us with little effort. And because of it, we can take it for granted. when we have a inharmonious point connected to the harmonious points, this creates a tension between these 2 points that causes us to really bring these natural gifts into our consciousness and master it. It creates a lot of chaos and conflict in these situations. And it's called the Yacht of Destiny, also called the Finger of God, because it does feel like a destined conflict. To be able to work so closely with something you're naturally gifted at and to have so much conflict around it. The reason why I felt the need to put it in this little section right here is because I feel like this Abraham person recognizes that he has natural gifts when it comes to justice, truth, and duty, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, being able to objectively look at a situation. And I feel that this conflict right here is opening up this person's natural gifts so that they can further move in the direction of mastery, which comes with the yod placement. This right here, I do feel that both of these parties are dealing with heavy karma right now, which is probably why you're being separated or not linking up, because I think that these cards are trying to tell me that both of you have to reach a certain point in your Yod destiny or your South Node life debts to link up with one another. Right here, the South Node life step, the reason why I felt that this was under Danu, the seer, see beyond the current situation, is the South Node deals with what we were very, very good at in a previous life. And in this life, when we incarnate, we tend to lean very heavy into the South Node, and it creates stagnation. It creates stagnation, and in that stagnation, we're not growing. So the opposite of the South Node would be the North Node. The North Node is what we came here to experience. You could also call it your soul's path or your soul's journey. And if anyone's interested in a reading, I do offer a reading for $10 where we can go really deep into your South Node and your North Node and really figure out what these life debts might be. But with your South Node, it's something you're good at, but it's something that's also can hold you back. It tends to be very heavy energy, and it keeps you stagnant, because when we move into the North Node, it lifts our energy up. It makes us feel really light. It brings life force inside of our body. But some people can almost go too far into the North Node where they become very ungrounded. So the contrast is you want to capitalize on your gifts. And I know it's called life debts here. Sometimes your gifts have debts attached to them. And sometimes you experience your North Node so that you can remove the debts or learn from these debts, whatever the actual debt is. But when you're balancing the South Node, this is your grounding energy. In your South Node is your equivalent to what people call chi or life force. You need both energies. It's a balancing act. Okay, let's see if we can find some advice for this person here. What is their next step? Oh, that's cute. That falls right under winter. And this is the fifth house. This makes so much sense. With the trust of a child, fun, romance, making art, do it dramatically. Take care of your needs. Spirit wants this person to learn how to have fun again. to, remove themselves from the energy of seeing life as everything is a duty to others, everything is objective, everything is about conscientiousness. That can really, I think this is what really makes this energy in the South Node for this person. And they're being told to learn how to be as a child again. Take care of yourself, have fun, make art, be romantic, go big with it. Really, really go big with it. This person is being called to really lift their energy up. And that might be part of, this person's, their own North Node. Or this could be what this Yod destiny here is saying, is that this person has natural talents for, I keep seeing, like, with this triangle right here, I keep seeing, like, scales, like a balancing act, like a temperance card or a justice card, or like the Two of Pentacles, like somebody who's really good. Oh, how funny, I didn't even notice that there's like a little symbol just like that right there. Just somebody very good, it being fair. And like this person, I feel, is being told to have a more personalized experience with life. That everything doesn't have to be about fairness. Sometimes things can just be, just be fun. Okay. This card came up as well while I was shuffling, but I wasn't thinking about this yet. Be realistic about, be concerned about, you must wait before you can. Here is another Saturn card. I have a feeling that this belongs between the both of you. As maybe both of you are in a phase and there's something that you're both working through, and Spirit's reminding you to be a little bit more individually focused right now. The three major energies are tribal, collective, and individual. And I feel like because both of these energies are dealing with other people, that this one is kind of like, once you guys get together, you both need to have a connection towards your individual energies. Really connect to it. Okay. Let's see if we can find some advice for this person. Diplomatically, relationships get a fair deal. Okay. This is interesting because this has so much energy that connects to this person right here, that you might be in a divorce right now, or you might be in some sort of karmic relationship that's not a soulmate connection, and their Spirit's asking you to close this relationship out before you can have contact with this partner right here. And I feel like also this card right here is asking you to sort of channel this energy right here of diplomacy. And I feel like this energy is asking you to sort of tune in to justice, truth, and duty before this person can come into your life. And, same here. This person is being asked to be more joyful and to have more of a family perspective before this person can come in. Okay, so last thing I want to do is I have this fun little deck of spells. And let's see if that can give us some additional insight. Okay. Oh, the blissful bed blessing. In a red cup, mix half teaspoon of jasmine oil with a half teaspoon of rose oil with a cotton ball. Touch it to your clean cotton sheet 7 times from where you rest your head to your feet, once for each chakra point. Then say out loud, in this bed I show my love, in this bed I share my body, in this bed I give my heart, in this bed we are one. Here my happiness lies as I give and live in total joy. Blessed to be me and thee. Now lie down and roll in the bed. After all, that is what it's for. I feel like this is I mean, you could literally do this, but this is a reminder of recognizing that your energy is shared. This definitely has twin flame energy all over it. Okay, so this concludes your reading, pile 1. That went through a little bit longer than I expected. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps. And remember to trust in yourself. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. Links below for free daily readings and astrological insights. Okay, so the next card was the Six of Cups. Okay. So the Six of Cups, if you picked this card, you probably already know who your soulmate is, because this card definitely deals with sentimentality. It deals with youth. So this might have been like your childhood sweetheart. And I know that's hard because some of us might be a little bit disconnected from a childhood sweetheart, but you don't have to take that literally. With this stone, I see this as 2 paths that have been separated, and then at some point it finds its union on the other side. Because it's also a blue stone, I feel that there might be some connection to your throat chakra for this couple. Maybe you two are in the communications field, marketing fields, education, philosophy. Maybe you're very deep thinkers and you like to express yourselves. Let's see what the cards say about the 2 energies of these parties. Let's see if we can get... Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Osiris, God, King of Duat. Commitment, acquisition, responsibility. I mean, if this is not a super strong divine masculine energy, I do not know. The thing about Osiris, for people that are not aware of this story, is him and Isis, they had that situation with, I believe it was Set. That's not coming through right for me. But it was Osiris's brother, out of jealousy and anger. He tricked Osiris into cut up his body and put them in all of these different places. in the world, and Isis was set on a path to collect all of Osiris's parts. I mean, that has such a strong symbolism to it. It's kind of amazing. But I feel like this is somebody who is on a quest to feel whole. This is somebody who's on a quest to feel whole, and I think that this person might be under the belief that their partner might be the one that makes them whole. But I think this is also pointing to the fact that there's, personal responsibility involved. Responsibility, commitment. That there's commitment and responsibility towards making ourselves whole. And I think that that is sort of what the part, like where they are right now. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the card that came up for the other person. The Ageless, the light and the darkness, healing, graciousness, acceptance. Okay. I mean, that has such strong Isis energies right there. So your relationship is going to be a person who has been in many situations where they were in the position to extend grace. They were in the position to be the light in the darkness for other people. They were in the position to heal. In this person here, I feel like they're in a position often where life was keeping them separate. That, if the natural course of life is to achieve integration, I feel that this person was in a position to strategically experience through others or through the energies, through his North Node, through his soul's destiny, that it's hard to say. I don't like to say that people experience these bad things because they were destined to experience it. So, whatever the reason was, is that this person experienced a lot of situations where parts of them were, there's a very specific word in shamanic studies, that they were experiencing like little bits of soul death. And they're in a position where they're doing the soul retrieval. They're calling back their souls. Like every time that we experience something that does not resonate with our soul, to cope with the situation, we experience a soul death, and that little part, of our soul, just kind of separates from our body and it sticks around in our aura. And it creates this like gray or black energy in our aura. And so when we experience a soul retrieval and we, call it back, sometimes when we look at it, it doesn't look how we remembered it. It looks not as pure or clean. I hate saying that word as well, but it doesn't feel right. And so sometimes we view that as calling our shadows back. And when we see the shadow after it looks all beaten and bruised, it's hard to recognize that that's still us. And I feel that this energy right here, this person is somebody that will offer healing to this person. And within that healing, they will feel that they can clean their energies. But this person feels like somebody who has more of a natural psychic ability to healing, more of like an empath of some kind, whereas this person feels like somebody who's learned about healing by studying it, like somebody who reads of like Jungian psychology, or somebody who reads spirituality, somebody who's had to really be committed to their healing path. Whereas this person, it just feels kind of natural. And I sort of see that these energies are coming together because I feel that, if this really is somebody you met from your childhood and you separated for a while and then you come back together, I feel like the merging of you two coming back together really broadens a perspective of healing, and that maybe, this might become some sort of vocation of some kind that you two do together. It might be the kindness and the help that you offer back to the world through your own personal experiences and how you individually experience these things. So let's see if we can get some higher energies about these, two archetypes. So if these two energies are your earthly energies, your archetypal energies, let's see if we can find some higher energies to see what it exactly is that you're individually learning. And as we're seeing what you're individually learning, that contrast is going to help us figure out why you two are soulmates, or why you two are twin flames. Oh, wow. Okay, this is neat. So these two energies came out right here. So we have the warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And then we have the druid, hold space. I had a feeling that these are the cards that they belong to. I feel that this person, for context, I feel that these energies actually belong to these people. That this person is very skilled naturally at holding space for others. And that this person is very skilled at self-work and the commitment it takes to really work on yourselves. And I think that the energies that Spirit wants you to really hone in on so that you can reconnect with each other is, I feel that the ageless, this healer, this natural healer right here, I feel like they want you to experience your strength. And they want you to stand strong, I think, for what you believe in and what... I'm getting this message... I'm sorry, I'm sort of interrupting myself. I'm getting this message that this person has probably experienced a lot of people that have taken them for granted, and that they are really needing to learn how to create a space for themselves. It's something that's coming through for me right now that really resonated with me when I was learning about boundaries, is that it's not really about creating a wall around yourself to protect yourself. It's more about creating fire inside of your heart, to the point that if anybody crosses a boundary, that they recognize energetically that fire inside you, and it's like they get burned. But it's not. It's a stance that you're taking. It's an energetic resonance that you're putting out. It's not like you're literally burning somebody with, your words or your harm or anything. It's saying that it's like conviction. It's like knowing when you're healing is now getting to a point where it's not serving the other person anymore, and learning that you need to take care of yourself. Whereas this person, I feel that in their journey of self-work, I feel like they're sort of learning how to hold space for themselves. I feel like they are learning how to offer themselves healing. You know, I have a feeling that this person might be in a position where they're struggling with some shame or some guilt over their past, that in their phases of soul recovery and soul retrieval, they've really come to understand the consequences of their actions that they were probably unaware of due to the various parts of soul death in their energy field, because sometimes that can create unconscious actions. And I feel that this person is saying this druid energy, you know, is sort of another way of offering to yourself redemption. That's really coming strong. Is this person, yes, you've hurt people, and some people will forgive you, and some people might not, but your next step is to learn to redeem yourself, offer yourself redemption. Okay, so let's see if we can find some energies of where you two are right now, and let's see if we can get some advice on the next step. This is, and this might only resonate with some of you, but this is coming a little bit strong for me with somebody who might have been struggling with addiction and somebody who might be struggling with codependency. You know, that might not resonate with everybody, but I am getting that for some people. Fifth house, creativity. Let's see if we can get another one. The fifth house is the house of creativity and children, but also like joy and fun and really appreciating life. It's also, Leo rules the fifth house as well. Okay, cool. Those are really good cards. Okay, so what I feel like this one is coming through more with a little bit of Leo energy for me right now, where I feel like it's, you know, sort of saying that the both of you are in a position where you need to really learn how to do something for yourself. Learning to hold space for yourself, learning to be strong for yourself. And I feel like it's also asking you to lift the energy a little bit and not make it so heavy, meaning that we need to learn how to find joy in actualizing our warrior energy, or creating a warrior stance. We have to learn to find joy in it. We have to learn how to find joy in holding space for ourselves. And this person right here, where it says Chiron healing, if you know the story of Chiron, Chiron was somebody who was injured, and I'm going to paraphrase the story, by the way. Somebody who was injured, and he found healing through helping others. And I think that I mean, if you are somebody that has struggled with addiction, I feel like this energy right here is sort of saying that your next step might be, or you might be here right now, is that you might have transitioned well enough into your own recovery where you are actually being able to hold space for other people, which is such a beautiful thing. Actually, in my life, one of the most actually two of the most influential people in my life were addicts in recovery. I found that they were able to hold space for me in a way that I had never experienced. And although I hadn't experienced addiction in the way that they experienced it, I did experience not being able to be there enough for myself. And I found that their energy was just so healing. It was so healing. And I feel this energy right here. I feel like this healer or this empath or this person who maybe is so gracious and accepting to other people, but now Spirit is asking you to show up for yourself. I feel that you're actually in a phase right now where you're being a little bit selfish in a good way, and you're noticing that you're receiving a lot of benefits. You're receiving abundance and generosity. And I think you're recognizing that while you're balancing these two energies out, that your hands are being open and you're receiving more. You're receiving more from the world. And you're recognizing that I think maybe you were giving away your gifts a little bit too easily, and you weren't valuing your gifts enough. And it's probably because, maybe conditioning for a long time where, this card came up, but I think it wants to go here. There was some conditioning that you were feeling for a while where people began undervaluing your natural talents, and so you were conditioned to undervalue yourself. This sort of just builds on the 5th house energy. Venus, the attraction of, the pleasure of, and good times. I feel that this line right here that's in between these two energies. I feel like it's kind of wanting you to, wow, why didn't this come to me earlier? So we have 6 of Cups. These are sentimentality. These are like 2 children, kind of referencing like a childhood love. And then we have 5th house creativity, and we have, this deals with children and creativity. And I feel like it's the energies that it wants you to tune in together is kind of remembering the fun in life and the joyfulness in life, and maybe even remembering what it's like to be with each other. You know, what did that feel like when you guys were together, maybe before all of these things happened to you? Or maybe if this is for some of you not somebody that you know from your childhood, just remembering your childhood and who you were before all of these things happened. Oh, that's really funny. We were just talking about that. These are the advice cards that came out, the 1st house and in Leo. Who you are, your desires, your actions. Self-confidence to create, taking a chance on, resulting from the impressiveness of. I feel like this one wants to go here, and this one wants to go here. I feel like with this person, Spirit really wants you to tune in to who you are and how you are going to take action differently with that. Is although you might really be helping people right now or helping yourself, maybe you're finding your healing, your redemption through helping people. And I think at some point it's going to want you to get back to the balance, because at some point you might have already experienced this, or you're about to experience this, where you might go really far into seeking your redemption, where you become so far other-focused, so far into helping and healing people that now Spirit is kind of wanting you to really reconnect to your childhood desires and who you were, and find a balance in that. Because I think it's the difference between when people talk about recovery, of surviving and thriving. For sometimes it takes us a while to go through the healing phase where we can really accept and make peace with it. And then I think at some point, Spirit wants us to move on from it, but obviously take our lessons with us. But they want to create a balancing act with it. Is although in the end of it, we are gifted with, the gifts of healing, the gifts of holding space for people, the gifts of supporting people through self-work. Now we're sort of learning how to have clean desires. So if our previous desire, if we're sticking to maybe this person struggled with addiction, if your previous desire was thinking about the alcohol or the substance or any other addiction, it's wanting you to figure out what your actual desire is. Was your actual desire to express yourself fully? Was your actual desire to dance, to sing, to... I feel like maybe you guys were mutually an expressive pair at some point. I feel like maybe you two were very into the arts in school of some kind. And I feel like this person's wanting you to get back to that, or this energy wants you to get back to that so that you can connect with this person. Yeah, that's sort of the overall message I'm getting here, is that you both need to connect to your inner child and your fun more so that you can connect with each other. And this person here, I feel like this is showing you that you have a confidence, an impressiveness, and a strength inside of you that's trying to emerge. And I think that if we are sticking with the codependency narrative here, and again, that doesn't apply to everybody, I feel that you were giving these things to everyone else and not to yourself. And, Spirit is, now saying it's time to give to yourself and feel okay with it. That it's okay to give to yourself. I mean, maybe somewhere along the line you have come to see that you have felt shame, and that could also be back to the conditioning that we talked about, that you might feel shame for doing something for yourself. Maybe you were in a family that didn't really honor individualism at all. Okay, so I have this one little deck. It's really neat. It's a deck of spells, and I want to see if, okay, that showed up, a healing spell. I want to see if this spell can sort of give me an additional insight about your relationship. Oh, 2 healing spells. Lunar Libation. For an ambrosial brew with the power to calm a storm, add a sliver of ginger root and pinch of chamomile and peppermint to a cup of hot black tea before you pray. This day I pray for calm, for health, and the wisdom to see the beauty of each waking moment. Blessings abound, so mote it be. Okay, so this could also be This could be a sign that you need to capitalize on this lunar eclipse, solar eclipse season, and really allow, let these energies really transform you and help you to see all the blessings around you. This one right here is no more stress spell. When you're feeling unwell, stressed, and fatigued, or when you have a case of the blues, close yourself with a teaspoon or dropper of one of the following floral remedies. So we have, let's see, we might have to screenshot this, but we have remedies for anxiety, depression, exhaustion, lethargy, and stress. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm seeing together with these two energies is you guys are probably dealing with some burnout. And I think that that's why that inner child keeps coming up. It's like trying to remind you that you have to replenish yourself, the both of you. And your inner child energy does that. You know, it brings you life force. Okay, so that concludes your reading, pile 2. Please like this video if it brought you peace, clarity, or convictions towards your next step, and remember to trust in yourself. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you are interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. Alright guys, so now we're going to start pile 3, and we have the aquamarine here, and the 2 of cups. When I see this one, it points to new love, and I just have to say, I really love that this card, you know, supports, you know, same-sex relationships. And that doesn't need to, you know, point to, you know, that's the case for you. But what I am getting about this card is that this is new love, that your soulmate is probably somebody that you have not met yet. Okay. Whew. These readings are getting a little bit longer than I expected. Let me get some water. Thank you. All right, so right now we're going to pull a card so that we can get some energy for you or the other person, and you are the other person, and we're going to see how these energies relate to one another. In this deck, it is a deck of famous mythological characters, and what I really love about this deck is it can express through story the archetypal story that is happening between the two of you, and I can really get a lot of context with that. Okay, so oh my gosh, I love this card. One person's energy is Arwen, the master of the great hunt, authority, the hunt, and natural balance. Arwen is a natural leader, and he inspires so much. He inspires so much loyalty in the people who follow him because he doesn't lead through force. Instead, he nurtures people's natural gifts, and he allows people to be who they are under his care. This card, every time I see it, it always reminds me of like the quote. I forget who it's by, but it says that a great leader is somebody whose charges, or you know, people under his care say, "We did it," whereas a leader who, you know, is, you know, probably a little bit more, you know, self-focused is, you know, every time that the team accomplishes something, the leader gets the props. So they are not this type of leader. Okay, so the other energy that came out was Vanith, caretaker of the lost. Respite, assistance, memory. Okay. I believe Vanith was one of the characters in the Kingdom of Hades. I don't remember what kingdom she is, but I do remember the story. The story is that it was her job to take care of everyone in the kingdom, and it was usually one of the like underworld type kingdoms. And she provided a space for these people to just simply just provided a space for people that didn't have one. This reminds me a lot of like Cancer energy in the zodiac, because it's, Cancer is known to be the safe haven in the zodiac, that they have the energy, the mother energy, where when people need, I see what's happening here, but let me finish this. When people need healing or safety, they go to the Cancer safe harbor, the Cancer safe harbor in the zodiac, and they receive their healing, and then they go off back into the world when they're ready. So this is sort of what I see is happening here, is that this has a very strong, like, divine feminine and divine masculine energy happening, where, in archetypal story, the mother nurtures the child, up until 7 to 14, and yes, depending on the child, that is an actual range. Some children they need to stay with mom until 14, and some of them they're ready to go at 7. And remember, this is an archetypal, this is energy, which means that this could be a man as well. It's just the nurturing energy. So these first few years with mom are the years of nurturing oneself. And, being, when a human being comes into the world from source, it's a shock. It's actually something I think people don't recognize. It's traumatic, to be part of this huge energy that is all loving, and then to come down to the world and feel like you are so separated from everything. And the reason why, attachment parenting is so important is because, the mother becomes an anchor for the child on Earth, because the mother would have been on Earth depending on, when she, had the child, for, roughly 18 to 45 years, or, obviously those age ranges can change depending on scenario, but we've had all of those years to really ground our energies. And so, because women are the vessel for spirit, the energy comes inside through the mother, and then she has to learn how to hold source. And so it becomes a very interesting relationship of, mother holding source, which is the child, and helping to ground that energy. And I think that we see, like, a lot of children nowadays are struggling with sensory processing, because moms, our society and our culture is not really able to help moms to be with their children in that same way, or we're not able to have enough providers that can support that same energy. I think that's why a lot of educators in the younger years tend to be women, because there's sort of this understanding that, the women are help to ground the children in the early years. And I think that's also why we see a lot of professors tend to be men, in school in the later years, because this is the energy, through contrast, of the divine feminine, or motherhood and fatherhood. This is the energy where the father helps to support the nurturance of the child once they are ready to be grounded within themselves, separate from the mother. And so then the father comes in and says, well, this is how you ground yourself in the world as an individual. And I think that I definitely see some really strong divine feminine and masculine energies here. So let's see if we can find some extra energies from this deck. And this is sort of what I'm pulling this deck to see if it will share with me what the higher energies are that you two are learning. So if your archetypal energy is to experience the divine masculine and the divine feminine, or the divine father and the divine mother, then what is the energy, the higher energy that Spirit wants you to learn? Okay. Sorry about that, my deck kind of slipped from my hand there. Cool. The Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. Right here. And let's see if we can get one for Vanith now. Ooh. The Sun. Enjoy success and happiness. Huh. Well, I feel like that message is pretty clear. Spirit wants you guys to embody an inner marriage. The sun is usually a symbol of the masculine. And the Shaolin Master naturally knows how to balance its own divine feminine and its own divine masculine. It's being able to move through action and inaction, where inaction tends to be more feminine and action tends to be more masculine. It's where the Shaolin Master learns how to balance inaction and action, where he transitions between each movement with grace, as if he's flowing through it like it's water. And that's sort of what I'm seeing here, is that what Spirit wants you guys to learn individually so that you will come together for this union is Spirit wants you to experience an inner marriage. Inner marriage, not together. It's saying that this natural divine father or divine masculine needs to learn how to allow the divine feminine into its life, so that he, as a natural leader, can embody both energies. Whereas this person, I feel like they're reminding you to carve out space for yourself, so that you are able to balance service to others and service to self. I know we do live in a time where women are usually conditioned to be of service to other people, but that places us in not very good positions sometimes. So I feel that Spirit is wanting to remind you that to be the best caretaker that you can be, you have to also know how to take care of yourself. You have to understand what it feels like to be in the sun, to enjoy success and happiness, to enjoy being a little selfish in a healthy way, so that you can be a better caretaker to the people that come to you, whether they're your literal children, or if you're in some kind of healing profession. Yeah, like when I see caretaker of the lost, I usually see somebody who's probably like a counselor or a teacher or a psychologist, or they do therapies of some kind, alternative healing, alternative health, a nurse. Okay. Yeah, as I was shuffling, I got Chiron healing and the 5th house creativity while I was talking about this person. So I feel that you might be finding it very healing to take care of children, or to take care of other people's creativity of some kind, because that can also be a birth in and of itself, our creative births. Okay, so this card came up as the energy between the two of you, and it's kind of just saying, very blatantly saying that right now is not the right time, because both of you have a very huge task to complete right now. It is to achieve an inner marriage, to integrate your own divine feminine to your own divine masculine is a huge task. And so for you two to have to do that separately, I feel like this is sort of, this card came up right here for additional context, 12th house. I think maybe one or both of you are not on the path yet. Or you don't see it yet. Okay, so let's see if we can find an individual card to see where each person is individually. Oh. So this person's already walking the path. It might be this one that's not. So this person already is on the path. They're on their north node. So the north node is what we came here to experience, and the opposite to that is the south node, which is what we've already mastered in our last life. So this person has already stepped into integrating his inner feminine so that he can be this Shaolin master, be graceful in movement and action. Let's see if we can find one for Vanith. Okay, we got 1st house body. Okay, so technically you guys are both on the path. Maybe you're mutually recognizing that being together right now would be a distraction, or being together right now would be an escape from what you separately have to figure out yourselves. Or simply, you guys aren't going to connect if you try to escape from these paths. So 1st house body here, this is so close to this sun energy. I feel like this feminine figure, feminine energy figure, is they're wanting you to really step into the divine masculine, really step into your body, like really step into, see the sun came out again, really step into yourself. Really step into the divine masculine. Okay, let's see if we can get some advice for this person. So we have 8th house. As a life or death issue, getting and using power, use other people's resources. That's an interesting message. I feel like I need one more to really figure out what that's about. I'm getting a lot of random stuff here. Oh, okay. As a full-time job, serving, do it a little at a time. So I get you might be in a situation where you're recognizing that your North Node is something that involves the support of other people, and that can be really difficult for a person who is fully embodied the divine masculine, because that usually has a very strong, like, hyper individualistic energy sometimes, and to recognize that you need that to progress in your journey, that you really need the help of another person. You really have to embrace your divine feminine to really see how things are interconnected in that way. You know, if a leader oftentimes has a hard time feeling like the person who is being supported, because usually they want to be the person who is supporting others because it's part of their sense of self. And so right now, the advice, I think, for you to embrace, you know, your Shaolin master is to really understand that you are still powerful and you are still serving other people when you are receiving help. You know, you're not your own island. Basically. Let's see if we can get some messages for this side of the pile. Balance, cooperation, your partners. Is that how you meet each other? Business? Business partners. Your highest ideals, the rules, get it out in the world. That must be it. You guys might be meeting each other through some sort of like mutual project or goal, or how you want to help people in the world, or some sort of business. And as he vanneth, this archetype, you are being called to make yourself visible. Just make yourself visible, because you need to be able to be seen, and to do that, you need to step into your divine masculine. For this person here, you need to be able to ask for help. Step into your divine feminine, ask for help, look for more support for your projects, and with that, you will find this person, and they will find you. Okay, so that's cool. I wonder what you two might be doing together. I wonder if I can get a time frame for you guys. I haven't done that with every reading, but I don't know why I feel called to do it with this one. I feel like maybe you guys, I mean, although the void of Course Moon says that neither of you are there yet, I still get the feeling like it's not really that far off, though. Okay. 9th house. Spiritual values, long-range thinking, what is to be shared. Okay, so we have Sagittarius, 9th house, 8th house, 6th house, 12th house, 1st house, 5th house. This one comes up, and I feel like each of you are on your own path right here through all the houses, and you're probably going to meet around Sagittarius season, like about the end of the year, of this year, as you both are working through all of this stuff. Yeah, but this is I do see that this is, you know, coming to fruition in about 5 to 6 months, maybe? Huh. Okay, so I did this with the other readings where I took this neat deck of spells right here so I could figure out some additional energies of what maybe one or both of you need to be doing next to connect to each other. Okay. This one, so we have altar spells and everyday spells. Spell in a cup. Your morning pot of tea can be a daily ritual you can use according to your needs. As you sip the soothing libation, you will feel your spirits lift, and you can then greet the day stronger and infused with this simple and true magic. Along with healing and energizing properties, herbal teas can aid the mind. For the following blends, you can use basil for serenity, bergamot to dissipate negativity, lavender to remove anxiety, aids with sleep, mint sharpen the mind, orange for joy, and rosemary, physical well-being. Okay, for this one, sit for a spell. On a Sunday or any day you need encouragement, set aside half hour of quiet time and brew up some willpower to help you in any creative endeavor. Okay, that's definitely another reference for Arwen, you know, to really sit down and allow that receiving energy to come in. Maybe you might be somebody who's like go, 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 and for you to really tune into your divine feminine, you really need to stop and just, you know, sip a figurative cup of tea, you know, allow yourself to be in a receiving mood. That not everything you have to do has to be productive in some way. Okay, so this one is brew some willpower to help you in any creative endeavor. Light a white candle anointed with peppermint oil and then some spicy incense. Cinnamon works well if you can get it. Take a sprig of mint, warm milk, and cinnamon sticks and stir the milk clockwise with the mint, cinnamon in a white mug and say out loud, herb of mint and spicy mead, today is the day I shall succeed in every word and every deed, with harm to none, so mote it be. Quaff the cup and sit for a spell, eyes closed, envisioning new horizons. Keep the cinnamon sticks on your altar as a symbol of the power of encouraging words. So you over here, Vanith, that was over here, the divine feminine, I think that maybe you are probably having a hard time stepping into your power, that you might have been in a position where you were supporting people so much that you might be so fearful of your own power because you fear hurting another person. And I feel like Spirit is wanting to remind you that you're not going to, because you have such a high awareness of people that you're not going to hurt anybody, and people will benefit from seeing you shine. Okay, so that concludes your reading, pile 3. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next step in life, and remember to trust in yourself. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. Alright, here is pile 4. So we have this black obsidian, and we have the Lovers. In this card deck, the story is symbolized by the classic Beauty and the Beast tale. And I don't know why the black one landed with this one. I feel like maybe the pair of you might have some energies that you need to actually remove from your space. Whereas, you know, some of the other piles, it was like they needed to experience certain energies. I feel like with your pile, you might be called to remove some energies of some kind. So this deck that I'm doing, I have right here, is a mythological deck. It's one of my favorite decks. You'll see it a lot on my channel because it has, each card has a famous mythological character. And what I like about it is a lot of the energies through these mythological stories have relationships to archetypes, and these archetypes are energies that a lot of us play out as roles in our life. And so with one card, I can usually get a lot of messages as to what a person might be like. Okay, so we're going to pick one card for one of the parties. Oh, that's beautiful. Wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. El Shaddai, the Radiant Lord. And let's see if we can find energies for the other pile, or the other person. And we have the Golden Empress, the Jewel of Abydos, potency, confidence, and magnetism. It's kind of interesting that, you know, this person is, I guess she's kind of like the beauty of the pile. And this person, I think it's so interesting, he has, I don't know if you can see them, they're little horns, and like this interesting, like, face shape, with other horns right here, and, you know, these gorgeous wings, but, I mean, interesting that these two cards came out together. Hold on, let me get a sip of water while I think about this for a second. Okay. For your pile, I am getting that you two probably have a income disparity or a class disparity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That part of the reason that this figure shows up in your life does have a relationship to Beauty and the Beast is that this person probably is somebody of influence, and maybe now or before they were somebody who I feel might have resonated with this beast energy at one point, but I feel like this person's probably coming out of it a little bit, or I hope that they're on that path, that they probably acquired their wisdom and kindness, because I think within their influence, I feel that they probably were burned a lot, and they became kind of distrustful of people. And I feel that, you know, with you, you might be somebody who, or, I'm sorry, this could really be either person. You might be this person, and the other person might be this person. But this person right here, I feel like they're probably somebody who's experienced a lot of attention in their life for their personality, their beauty, their magnetism, their confidence, and maybe you are a little bit younger in energy or experience or just literal, you might be younger. I think that right now, I feel like right now, you might not be radiating with each other for some reason, just because of how these cards are showing up and how this card is showing up. I feel like I need more messages with this one because there's a lot of particular timelines I'm feeling here. Okay, so with this card deck right here, if these are your archetypal energies, what you experience while you're here on Earth, from this deck, this is going to kind of give me some extra insight as to what it is that Spirit wants you to experience in this world so that you can connect with each other. And I would say that this is more of like a higher vibrational deck. This card showed up in another reading. I think this was the second reading. I'm not sure. The second or the first reading. Hold the space. Okay. Do you find it interesting that these two cards right here display like older men with like white hair that both have very strong signs of being very wise. And okay, this is the card that came up for this person. This is somebody who understands their value, their goods, and they exchange to create abundance. I mean, from a very 3D perspective here, you or the other person might be somebody who is very beautiful, and they understand that beauty and magnetism is they can exchange that for a more abundant lifestyle. Whereas this person right here, they are probably slightly reclusive right now, slightly mistrusting right now, but they have so much to offer in a relationship. They probably have more resources, more status, more wisdom. I feel like there's a lot of what's coming to mind is like somebody who's an old soul and somebody who's a young soul, and these energies coming together to re-enliven each other and to progress. So it's like when I think about youthful energy and older energy, like old soul energy, I feel like sometimes their reality can get so stagnant and heavy, and that sometimes this youthfulness lightens everything for them, where this person right here, I feel that their energy might be so in the air sometimes that they might sometimes make decisions without understanding the consequences of it. And so you have this older energy coming over here and helping them, bridge the gap of their youthfulness so that they can really experience the world in a broader view, understanding more of the consequences of their choices. When I see this energy right here, I think in some stories of Beauty and the Beast, like the Beast was, and all the people in his castle, they were kind of like in that space, well before Belle was even born. This person was like, stuck as a beast for what, like hundreds of years or decades, or it depends on the story, but he wasn't a beast for only a short period of time. Like, he was this person for a while before Belle even came. And Belle had this, she had this interesting mixture, I think. I seem to remember doing like one of those Myers-Briggs tests and thinking how cool it was that Belle was an INFP, because, you know, INFPs, I think they're like natural healers, but there's also a like innocence about them. They have like this fairy-like energy, and but she was so book smart, you know, like she was so smart because of everything, her curiosity and everything that she wanted to learn, and she gravitated eventually to the Beast because she was sort of seeing that he was like a puzzle in a way, like she felt very curious about him. And I feel that with this journey right here, I feel like this person might already be ready to receive this person. I feel like it's this person that needs to maybe catch up a little bit. I'm going to see if we can find some more insight into what's happening right now with an astrology deck. Okay. Let's see if we can find some mutual energies right now. Saturn return. Okay. So I kind of, this sort of tells me that you might be somebody who needs to experience at least your first Saturn return, which happens about 28 to 32, I believe. And this person might be somebody that's already experienced one or two of them. And so I think what would bring you together is that this person having at least your first one, or you find them in the Saturn return time frame. And the Saturn return time frame, that is when in your birth chart, your Saturn was in a specific sign: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc., etc. And when it returns, it's the first time that you experience your Saturn in the same sign as your birth, which is why it takes roughly, 28 to 30 years. If you were born in Saturn Scorpio, you experience a Saturn return when Saturn goes into Scorpio again. And when you experience that, you experience your Saturn return, which is a several-year process of balancing your karma. So something about people who are youthful, who haven't yet experienced a Saturn return, is that they recognize during their Saturn return all the consequences of their actions in their youth. And then they really are able to understand, they pull wisdom from that. Gosh, we were just talking about that, I believe. Yeah, that this person has the understanding of life that this person hasn't quite yet gained. Okay, so let's see where this person is individually, and then we'll do this person. Okay. Oh, these cards kind of came out together. I kind of get like this person is learning to come out, is learning to get out into the world again. That maybe they might have been a little bit of a recluse or a hermit for a while. And they're sort of learning to make themselves visible. Okay, let's see if we can get an energy for this person. Oh, yeah. Okay. You have maybe some debts to pay off in your Saturn return before you're able to... Oh, and this card came out as well right below it. There might have been some desires that you acted on that were not in your best interest. This card came up right after it. They were not in your best interest, but it's okay because we learn. We learn. We learn for a reason. But there's some energy and some desires that you might have to transform inside of yourself. And these debts are going to get paid off in this Saturn return phase right here. Okay, let's see if we can find some advice cards for these people individually. And I feel like this is a very specific reading, so make sure that you feel connected to this reading, and if you don't, maybe try to look at a different pile. This one just feels like it might be just for a few people. Okay, let's get an advice for this person right here. Leadership, the creativeness, do what you want to. See, we have 2 Leos right here. Yeah, I really do feel like this is where this person is. They've been in a healing phase. They've been really gathering in all of their blessings and insights and debts from their own Saturn returns, and they are transforming that, and they're becoming an even wiser, kinder leader. They're learning to put themselves out there into the world again, in a different way. Okay, and your beliefs and the cost of use the most direct way. So Taurus and Leo right here, that I feel like this is, this is saying that this person needs to stop kind of beating around the bush, is what I'm picking up, and just really do it. And that might be where they're at right now, is they're like really right in the middle of the process of putting themselves back out into the world. Okay, so let's get an advice card for this person. Resurrect, get to the heart of, do or die, you must, Pluto. So this is also another confirmation, because Pluto and Scorpio have a very close relationship to one another. And this fire element reminds me of Mars, so there might be some like Pluto and Mars energy happening here, like somebody's, the way that they approach life, the way that they approach their desires need a complete makeover. And this person needs to figure out, like what it is that really drives these desires, and really come into their own Saturn return and understand what is for them to get to the heart of their desires, and if those desires were really serving them, at all. Maybe this person might be looking for attention in the wrong places, or I've been avoiding trying to say this because I don't think that it sounds very nice, but it's like, if you resonate with this Golden Empress, are you possibly somebody who might be playing around on social media a little bit too much, to get a little bit too much attention? I hope not, but that message might be for only some people. I think that Spirit's trying to remind you that, you are this Golden Empress, and to use you know, your potent confidence and magnetism for your highest good. You know, because the trader has the ability to exchange abundance for themselves and for other people. So it's like if you have a really wide reach, if you have a very wide reach, like a lot of followers or whatnot, it's like I feel like this is a reminder to make sure that the exchange is abundant for each person, and that, you know, that energy that you're exchanging with people is for your highest good and their highest good. Okay, so let's see if we can get one. This deck is a deck of spells, and I just kind of want to see if there's an additional message through here, you know, that might help you figure out what you need to do next. Okay, those two fell to the bottom. An everyday spell and two everyday spells. Tranquility, incantation, and cast out the bad energy. Oh, remember what we were talking about here? I mean, I don't know. I feel like this was kind of what Spirit was pointing me to, that last narrative that I brought out that my ego did not want to bring out. Which is that really assess what kind of energies you're exchanging with people, especially the person that resonates with the Golden Empress, and because these energies are keeping you away from your soulmate or your twin flame. You know, you're not able to resonate with your person because of it. Cast out the bad energy. Here is an ancient way of casting out demons and bringing good tidings for your friendships and family. Buy a big bag of dried beans and invite all your friends over. In ancient times, many pagan people believed that beans contain evil spirits. This spell is ideally performed during an eclipse. Oh my gosh, we have an eclipse. We have a solar eclipse coming up on the 10th of June, when that which is hidden is revealed. So go somewhere high in elevation and give everyone a handful of beans. Start throwing them down one at a time. With each tossing, call out whatever you want to kiss goodbye. A job, a bad relationship, whatever your personal demons may be. After you have discarded all the discord from your life, you and your friends can celebrate the lifting of your burdens. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so maybe this is really for that Golden Empress person to really understand what you need to let go of so that you can stop doing that kind of energy exchange. Okay, this card, Tranquility Incantation. For inner peace, take a walk in the woods, bring a stick, 7 leaves from an ash or oak tree, several stones, and matches. With the stick, draw a circle on the ground and mark 4 directions, north, east, south, and west. Arrange the stones and leaves at the center of the circle and say, good luck rises for me in the east, my music rises in the south, my wishes rise in the west. From the north, peace and calm will come to me, my dreams will come true, and so it is. This must be for El Shaddai. Really good, really good incantation here to really lift your energy so that you can get back into the sun energy, the world energy, getting yourself back out there. Okay. Well, this concludes your reading, Pile 4. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or convictions towards your next step in life, and remember to trust in yourself. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contact me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. So for our last pile of the day, Pile 5. So we have the 10 of Cups, and this card points to emotional fulfillment. I don't know the actual story of this card, but it kind of reminds me of like um, like the Little Mermaid, sort of. You know, we have like the characters from the sea and the people on the earth, and it's like a fusion of people from two different worlds. And this purple fluorite, it's so gorgeous with all of these little swirls in it, but it does symbolize, you know, healing and protecting of your psychic space. And I think it, you know, might point to maybe some complexities. So let's see if the cards can point us to what your partner might be like. So this deck right here is a mythological deck. It points to a lot of the famous stories in mythology of characters that have played out human stories, which is, I've noticed that as I'm reading the story of one of these characters, it can really help me tune into the archetype of that character and how that character's journey may manifest on Earth. Okay, let's pick a card here. Oh wow. Arthur, the champion of Avalon, companionship, nobility, and self-realization. And let's see if we can get one more. Okay, and this will be the other person. So I've noticed really quickly in the reading that you can be either person. So instead of saying that you are this person and the other person's that person, I think you might have to determine who is who in this scenario. Oh, okay. So these two cards came up, and I think that they came up like this. The Exile Soldier came up first, and then Morgan Le Fay came out right under it. So I think with these two cards, and in relationship to this card right here, Arthur is the king of his kingdom, and he is such a noble character. His nobility has, and self-realization as a person, has offered him companionship to the point where he always has his round table around him. And he is a very giving person. It's very naturally very giving. He may be a little righteous. This person right here, though, the exile, this is somebody that used to belong to a unit or a family, or he used to have companionship or a community, but he was exiled, or he or she was exiled, and they're confused about it. They're in a state of trauma and confusion, feeling like a failure, and they might had started out playing out the trauma bonding comes into my mind. They might have been playing out a lot of trauma bonds with the characters around them. And, you know, through that, they've really started to mistrust their own abilities as a human being. And so I see that this person right here, Morgan Le Fay, this is kind of a sign that you might have been in a phase of self-denial about your situation, but you're kind of coming out of it, and you're seeing that you have space for atonement and space for growth, and that no matter how bad of a person you felt or how bad and deceitful the other people were around you, you still have space to grow. And I think maybe this person feels like they're not good enough for Arthur. Like they're too broken is the word that's coming up. So, which one wants to come up on top? Okay, I feel like Morgan Le Fay wants to come up on top, but we're going to show the exile right here so that I can kind of connect to those energies. And oh gosh, I'm thinking here like that reminds me of the Little Mermaid tale. I don't think this is actually the Little Mermaid tale, but I feel like this is saying, like in the story, Ariel had to separate herself from her whole family so that she could go meet Eric. And Eric had like all of those people around him in his kingdom because he was such a good prince. And I think Ariel, I think she was obsessed with Eric, but she kind of like, he didn't really see her, and she didn't always feel maybe that she was good enough. And I think that this stone, the Protect Your Psychic Energy, is I think like a reminder to like be aware of your thoughts, be aware of like the conditioned responses that your family might have told you over and over and over again about yourself or people like him or people like you, and just really assess what keeps playing around in your mind and really understand if it's for your benefit or not. I mean, obviously it's not, but you kind of have to be able to pull that energy out of your mind and really look at it so that you can see that it doesn't belong to you. Those are words. Those are words that they're just words. They're words that your family has said, your friends have said, other people have said, and they might be keeping you from your soulmate. Or this could be the other way around, that this person, might not see their soulmate because, everybody keeps saying that person is bad, you should not be with that person. So I feel like it's going to be so important. It's going to be so important if you are this person, you have a really good family, and you guys are a very strong community and you support each other. You support each other as a group and you support each other as individuals. It's going to be really important that you recognize that this exile soldier is on a path to atonement and growth before you enter in with this person, because I kind of have a feeling like you might already know who this person is. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like, what is, I wish I could remember that drama. West Side Story, I think. It's like two warring families. But in this context, it's like kind of saying like, this person might have had to remove themselves from their family unit. Yeah, because this card came up, the Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. This person might have had to remove themselves from their family so that they could really shapeshift into the person whom they're supposed to be, separate from what everybody says that they are. And this person here got Father Sky, trust in the unknown. And I feel like this person is saying, like, for you, that you might have had a life where everybody did things a very specific way. Like, maybe your family was very conscientious people, very responsible people, good parents, good siblings. And it's very odd for you to have a character like this person in your life. And I feel like Father Sky here is saying, you know, trust in the unknown. But also be smart about your decisions here, because, you know, something that I've told people when I do relationship readings for them is that divine timing is very important. If you hook up with your person a little prematurely, before, you know, you've learned a very important lesson in your own life, you will create situations in your life that create karmic debt between you. And although, I mean, I don't think we should shame ourselves if we go that route without understanding we went that route. I think that it's all about awareness. If you recognize that the person before you can't accept you as you're transforming, like if you feel that this person isn't accepting you yet, then you need to separate yourself and keep transforming as a person. You know, focus on your own path, because to keep receiving, you know, feedback from them like you need to be further along or more healed or something, like that's going to affect your self-perception, and you're learning to separate yourself from the perceptions of others. Whereas this person right here, if this person isn't really in atonement and growth yet, if they're not really shape-shifting in it yet, you know, if to offer them the skills and resources of your family, or to put them inside of your family unit, to trust them a little bit too prematurely, might put you in a position to experience a lot of their trauma. You know, like if they're still right here, like if they're still in exile and they're still trauma bonding with people, they're still playing out the same scenarios over and over and over again to recreate the trauma, if they're, you know, engaging in self-betrayal or self-sabotage, unknowingly, I'm humble enough to say that I have done that before, so I am not somebody to judge. But if they are not sincerely learning from it and transforming, you know, it's okay to trust that this person needs to be separate from you right now to safeguard the relationship. And, you know, that's not to say that you both need to be fully self-realized as human beings before you can connect to each other. It's just saying that you have to make sure each person's on the path, at the very least. So let's see, with this deck, I have this astrology deck right here to see if I can figure out where you guys are in the reading, right now, in this reading. Okay, so 8th house energy, you're both experiencing some endings and beginnings. And this came through right on top of it. Mystery. I like mystery, trust the unknown. I think that this card is so powerful because it points out that there are things working behind the scenes that are usually working for our benefit to create a divine timing, and we just have to trust that it's on the way. You know, that our interference of it kind of distracts people from the path. Okay. Let's see if we can find an individual card for Arthur, the Arthur person over here. Whoops, I had it, but it kind of moved around a little bit, and then I lost it. Okay, let's see. Neptune sacrifice. Oh, and I thought to myself, what are you sacrificing? and then this earth element stability came out over it. I feel like you might have a very specific perception of how a relationship is supposed to look or how a family is supposed to look, and this is sort of telling you need to sacrifice that perspective that might be very strongly imprinted on you. And you might, to find this person, you might have to, step into the unknown here, and just recognize that relationships all look very different. Okay, so we have another transformation card here for this person. So this person is, and then this card came right under it. Okay, so I feel like this person they are growing right now. They are transforming, and they're really assessing their desires. And if those desires serve them, they're understanding the triggers of those desires, and so that they can be aware of it. I just had to point out that there's two triangles and different. One's upside down and one's right side up. I feel like that might be some synchronicities right there. And you also might be an earth sign, and you might be a fire sign as well. So, yeah, I feel like, ironically, this person might actually be the person that really needs to take the next step. I think maybe because this person might already be doing their work. Okay. So let's see if we can find some advice for this person over here. Oh, that's funny. Another Neptune card came up. Inspire others with, be prepared to sacrifice for. Yielding is the only way to, yeah. So there's something in your life that you are learning that is not what you're used to, and you're sacrificing that perception so that you can trust in something bigger. You're yielding to the process, or the advice is that you might want to consider yielding to the process and trusting in what you don't know. Okay, let's get a card for this person. Okay, Cancer. Your feelings, attitudes from the past about, use your intuition. Cancer. So we have two water signs right here. So I guess, a lot of you either are a water sign or a fire sign, or you are really having to assess your emotions and your desires, and you're in a very deep healing phase where you're growing a lot, or it's asking you to understand your attitudes from the past, your triggers, what replays in your mind over and over again, and use your intuition to lead you to transformation. Use your feelings, and that can be really hard if you struggle with some complex traumas, because people who struggle with complex traumas can really be separate from how they feel about things, or their instincts or their intuition, because their intuitive centers have been so manipulated, so I feel like that might be where you are right now, where Spirit is kind of saying, like, to reconnect to your third eye, to your heart, and your solar plexus, your instincts, your feelings, and your intuition, all three of your intuitive centers, and just really understand where your information is coming from. Yeah, because I sort of feel like, Cancer is really strong feelings and intuition, and Scorpio is really strong instincts. I feel like, that's kind of where you are, just sort of getting to the root of things. And I notice that this shapeshifter, all of these different like animals in the picture is, really connecting to the part of yourself that is at its purest, because I sometimes, I know that everybody really wants to move past their animalistic side, but we need that side to work well in this world. We need our instincts because intuition, intuition is usually like foresight. It's closer to clairvoyance. It's usually what really helps us figure out what's happening, what's going to happen. Whereas, feelings are very personalized. Those are very personalized messages about yourself and what's happening inside of your body. Instincts, you really need that to figure out what's happening in the moment. You ever notice like how animals, like they're always the first to know what's happening through like natural events on Earth, like if there's like a volcano on the way, or if there's an earthquake, like the animals are already running, and as human beings, we look to those animals to figure out what to do next, and we forget that we have those same, abilities, and I think that this is very important for this person right here. Okay, and right here is a spell deck. I want to see if I can get a card or two from this deck to figure out a little bit more context of, what it is that, both of these people need to do to find each other. Okay, so we got a everyday spell. On the rise with Rose, if you want to jumpstart your life and bring about a positive change, tap into the power of the rose and the red stone. Stones of this color spectrum contain life's energy and can help you become more motivated, energetic, and vibrant. Wear the list of rosy and red stones or place them on your desk throughout your home for an instant boost. Alexandrite, carnelian, garnet, red coral, red jasper, violet, rose jasper, and ruby. So, I guess that's for this person because there's so much red right here. I feel like it's trying to remind you that maybe your energy has been really heavy for a while. It's been really heavy for a while, and so Spirit's reminding you to start infusing some higher vibrational, joyful energies into your life. And then so we have this one for the other person, the love spell. Break up ritual. To rid yourself of negative emotions after a fight or the end of a relationship, try this purification bath. Draw a warm bath at noon when the sun is at its healing peak, and add these essential oils into the water as it flows to the faucet. 2 drops rosemary for calm, 1 drop peppermint for stimulation, 1 drop lavender for energy cleansing, 3 drops thyme to relieve mental exhaustion. As you soak and steam, repeat this prayer 4 times. Sadness, I release you, goodbye. Fatigue, I release you, goodbye. I greet this day anew, I greet my life renewed, blessed be. Yeah, I feel like this is saying, like, break up with this, foundation that you have, that although it could be a very good foundation in its own way, it's also becoming maybe a block for your self-realization, because something wants to come into your reality, and to do that you have to make room for it. Okay, So this is your reading, pile 5. Please like this video if it brings you peace, clarity, or conviction towards your next steps in life. And remember to trust in yourself. You are made of the earth, of magic, and the stuff of stars. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified with new readings or astrological insights. Please check out the description box below if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me through Etsy, Fiverr, or directly contacting me through Gmail. If you're looking for a way to donate $1 to support my channel, I have links below for Zelle or PayPal. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, links below for free daily readings and astrological transits. Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Bye!